I went through these series of phases that I think might be pretty common for some folks around my age, where when I was a teenager, I thought Christopher Nolan's movies absolutely rocked. And then in my early 20s, I had some appreciation for them, but I didn't think they necessarily held a candle to some of the best stuff that was out there, especially given how his fan base often talked about him online. Dare I say, using the term overrated at the time. It's not a phrase I like to use anymore, but now I'm in my 30s, and I was honestly very swept up by the strange imagery of Tenet and the haunting visions within Oppenheimer. And I saw the Odyssey on opening night, and you know what? This absolutely rocked. I think over time, a lot of elements of Nolan's films that others might find grating or not as up to snuff are things that I just found more and more charming as I've gotten older. His use of time as a narrative device, the non-linear structures, the bluntness of which he often expresses his ideas, the meta commentary on filmmaking and story structure that's often in his films, even some of his dialogue choices. At this point, I'm just letting it all fully wash over me, warts and all, and I'm starting to feel like Danny DeVito in that one episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh my god. I get it.
I don't want to repeat what a lot of people are going to say about this movie in terms of like performances, filmmaking, tension, music, effects, etc., because it is just really good all around. It is good in all the ways that you want a movie like this to be good. It all works and it comes together beautifully. What I found really interesting, especially as a follow-up to Oppenheimer, is that they both feel very much in conversation with each other in the sense that they're both stories about what society would consider to be great men who are in service of an empire, and how they are both forced to reckon with the decisions that they've made and how it affects the world at large. And it draws parallels to things that we often describe when we talk about or see other people talk about just how bleak it feels to live in this world right now, where it feels like everyone in power is just serving themselves and they're acting in a way that is extremely reckless, and how the lack of decency, humanity, desire for connection is ultimately rotting at the very soul of everyone. I also like the detail of having so many sequences being shown through flashback via a character recounting an event, because it feels like a direct homage to the way the Odyssey itself was a story that was told orally originally, long before it was ever written down on paper. It was a really nice touch. But also, I think this movie is the closest thing I'll ever see to actual proof of sorcery, because what do you mean Christopher Nolan completed filming ahead of schedule and under budget? Every other scene in this movie is a logistical nightmare. Everything about this movie screams indulgent and ambitious passion project that went over budget and took forever to finish, like Cleopatra or Heaven's Gate. I genuinely can't fathom how he pulled it off. So yeah, in short, The Odyssey, very much my jam. Good stuff. See it big and see it loud. And if you've already seen the film, then feel free to let me know what you thought of it in the comments.